Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 117, with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Welcome. Happy Friday to you. Woohoo, it's almost the weekend. I have a couple of fun cards for you today. We are going to be continuing our use of the new Eden's Garden collection. Hey Janelle, oh, I'm glad you're on, because what I thought I would do is play a little bit with the Ever Eden cotton paper. So if you're wondering what that is, in the Eden's Garden collection, you have the gorgeous stamp set and the dies, and then you've got our Ever Eden Designer Series paper, our 12 by 12 paper pack, and then you also have some of this cotton paper. It comes in 12 by 12. These are just smaller pieces. Hey Wendy, hey Pam. All right, so glad I have a few viewers because I am about 15 minutes late in my video today. I had a conference call that ran over, and so I had to pull my things together real quick. So the Ever Eden cotton paper that coordinates here with this collection, you get 10 sheets, 5 each of these soft succulent as well as the evening evergreen. And it you do have kind of a shiny side. I don't know if you can see the texture, kind of how smooth that is on the camera. And then on the back side you can see it's a little bit flatter, almost a little bit textured on the back. And it is pretty much, it's kind of like tissue paper. Like that's kind of what that's how it feels a little bit. Hi Kathy, welcome. And so I was a little bit skeptical to get this in my collection. Like, what do I do with 10 sheets of tissue paper, so to speak, because you know, it's pretty to put, you know, of course you can put it in gift bags and coordinate your packaging with your Stampin' Up! Colors and everything, and that's fine and dandy, but I don't know if you want to do that with a whole package. And so on my Tuesday video this week, we had a couple questions on, you know, what could we do with it? Could you emboss it? Could you run it through with dies and things like that? So I thought I would pull out a couple of, I'm going to do a simple card. We're actually going to do the same layout for each card, but we're going to show 2 different uses for the cotton paper. So I hope you enjoy this. Hi Sue, hey Pam. All right, and if you're joining, don't forget, I love your comments. I love it when you like and thumbs up and share and all of that good stuff. And if you watch later on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Love that as well. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera. We're going to go ahead and get started. And so for this, if you're playing with this, we're using everything from the Eden's Garden collection here. And the nice thing about that is you really just need 2 colors. You need your evening evergreen and your soft succulent. That makes it really nice as far as coordination with everything. And yeah, so that's what we are going to be starting with. Hey Philomena, how are you? All right, so for the first project here, you might notice as I'm creating, I tend to kind of use the similar base layout for everything, but it works so well. So I'm starting with a 1/2 sheet of the soft succulent. This is the 5.5 by 8.5. Go ahead and fold that. Okay, and this time I'm not gonna wrap any ribbon around it. So I'd say go ahead and adhere your next layer. This time I like to do that contrast. So we have our evening evergreen that is 4 by 5.25. All right, and we're just gonna tack this right down. Okay, so for the first question, Janelle had asked on Tuesday if the stitched greenery die from Stampin' Up! Would work with the cotton paper, because it is pretty thin, like tissue paper. And so I was a little worried that perhaps it would stick in here. But I went ahead, I just cut a small piece. I cut a piece that was actually 3 3/4 by 5. And I used my regular sandwich through my machine, which was, you know, your base plate with the layer for dies, your clear plate, the tissue paper, the die, and then, or excuse me, the cotton paper, the die, and then your top clear plate. Well, I ran that through and look how nicely that came out. So you can feel the textured side, but it peeled off of here. I did have to peel it off a little bit gently, you know, so as not to tear it, but it came off nice. I didn't have any tears or any issues whatsoever, and it's nice and smooth there on the front. What I am going to suggest for this though is that you can try it. It's a little bit, I almost wouldn't, you can see how I did with the seal there. It's almost too thin to use the seal. So what I would suggest instead is that you pull out your Tombow green glue here, your multi-purpose glue. I'm going to shake mine up good. And I'm going to use the broader tip because that way I can spread it around a little bit easier. Let me get it going in here. I'm going to shake it off camera here so you don't get dizzy on me. Okay, so getting it out here, so I've got just a little bit, and I'm going to gently rub some of this on here. Okay, putting it on little bits because you don't want globs. Okay, you just want little bits. Just gently spread it all around on here. Let's see. Okay, and that's why I'm using this broad tip, because it's flat and it gives you that ability to kind of flatten it out and really spread it. So a little bit, really a little bit goes a long ways on this, and you don't want to glob it. You want it real thin here. Okay, and then as we do that, you can flip it over, put this in place. Oh, I'm a little off center, but we're gonna go with it. I'm actually gonna use my bone folder to kind of help spread this out just a little bit. Okay, because you want something really smooth. You can almost see where it's kind of starting to bubble just a little bit. So you can use your bone folder to kind of work out any of those little bubbles and things, but you can still see that nice leafy stitching on there. So yes, so that answers question number one, is that yes, the cotton paper will work with your stitched dies. You just have to be a little bit gentle and use your Tombow green glue there. Hey Sally, welcome. Okay, and then checking it out. Hi Sharon, welcome, welcome. Okay, so yeah, I know a lot of you are big fans of the Tombow green glue anyways, so that is right up right up your alley. Okay, so I thought let's do some fun texturing on this. So what I've done is, this is just a scrap. It's, what is that, 1 inch by 4 inch. I'm gonna place this just a little bit, not quite center, a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna go ahead and put my adhesive on this. Okay. All right. Then we've got a couple of other fun elements that they are here on my desk somewhere. There they are, hiding underneath. All right, so I'm also using my layering circles with these. So what I use for this project, okay, so this is your largest, next largest. So I use sizes 3 and 4. Okay, so size 3, I used, and I die cut some gold foil circles, and then the smaller size 4. For one of the projects, I did a pretty little die cut with the paper, and then the other one I just did white. Okay, so we can change these up a little bit. And then I'm using the fun die that is in here. Where did I put it? Okay, so I've got this neat little border die here. Hi Sophie, welcome. Hey Alice from Indiana. Thank you guys so much for joining me. All right, so we've also got some fun little die cuts with this too. All right, so for this one, We need one of the gold foil circles. Let's go ahead with the white circle, and then we'll do the green border, and we'll save these for the next project here. Okay, so sometimes I need to just glue things down and simplify. Sometimes you get too many things going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick down our gold foil circle, and like I said, this is the third size in your layering circles. If you're using punches, then I did check this on my graph paper, and it is about a 2.5 inch. Okay, so this is a 2.5 inch circle that you would want here. And then we'll take the white circle, and so that would be a 1 3/4, so it's a little bit smaller. All right, and then let's go ahead, let's use one of these pretty little leafy designs here. Let's go with this one. And then, yeah, because that'll make a cute little background. And then we need a greeting. So how about we use our dear friend, how are you? Will that fit on here? Maybe I should check that first. Let's go ahead with the hello there. I think that might be just a little bit too narrow for the dear friend on there as well. Okay, so let's get our block set up. Let's use some soft succulent on this. We'll keep it nice and subtle here. And we'll just do a cute little leafy design in the center, just very pretty. Okay, this is going to adhere onto the circle. So if you're new, or new to the video here, with this card we use the cotton paper. All right, so we're showing uses for the cotton paper that is part of the Eden's Garden collection. And on this particular card, we did emboss, or excuse me, die cut the cotton paper with the stitched greenery background die there. All right, for just real subtle textured background. Okay, so now let's do our greeting, the hello there. So I love this collection. It is brand new, just made its debut for customers here on November 2nd. And it is a beautiful collection. You can do a buy it all, get the whole collection, including the stamp set and the dies, the designer paper, the cotton paper, and the pretty jewels, the garden gems here. You can do the whole thing for $82. And if you order $60 or more with my host code here for November, if you order by the 10th, then I am doing a card kit. I'll send you my class in the mail, which will have supplies for 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. You'll have tutorial for that, as well as some video. And you'll also get the supplies to make a cute little gift box with tag to go with that. And then I'm going to have a fun little chocolate Ferraro Rocher gift packaging for you with that as well. Yes, the candies will be included in the class kit. So if you'd like that free class, you just have to order $60 or more with me here by November 10th. And then I will finish packaging up all those kits. And so the product that you order will be sent straight to you. And then I will be sending the class packet as well as the tutorial by email. Okay, so all right, let's add a couple little of these jewels. So just a very, very simple, classy card design here. The other option, if you have a big list, and it's a fantastic, it's actually the best deal, Stampin' Up! Has a starter kit offer. So if you have at least $75, maybe not even, because in New York, you pay shipping and then you pay tax on your shipping. That's just a state of New York thing. That's not a Stampin' Up! Thing. So by the time you do all that, you're getting close to $100. Well, Stampin' Up! The starter kit is $99 for $125 worth of product. And right now, for the month of November, you can get that starter kit. Instead of paying $99, you can get it for $75. honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Stampin' Up! Actually discount their starter kit before. So it's just $75. Let's add some of these fun little gems on here. They're just so pretty. You can do all kinds of fun little flower arrangements and things. Oh, let's see, we'll just add a couple. And then, yeah, so for $75, you still get the $125 worth of product. And it can be anything you want. So that's what I love about the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit, is that it's fully customizable. Let's see, we need a couple of jewels to hide our little, I rocked my stamp a little bit, so. let's do a little couple things here. Yeah, just to kind of space it out. All right, so we'll just keep it clean and classy. Yes, such a deal. Yeah, Janelle, you're right. It's crazy. So if you know anybody that would like to join, we'd love to have you on our Creative Cardiology team. We are all throughout the United States, and we have monthly meetings. We get together on Zoom. We've got a very active Facebook group where everybody's sharing their ideas. I feel like we are a very supportive and encouraging group of stampers. I know, I love them. We have several on the video here today, so if anybody has any questions, then I'm sure my team would be happy to share their experiences with you. But it is a phenomenal deal. The nice thing too is that you don't pay any shipping, so it's just the $75 plus tax. So whatever your tax rate is, I know here where I am in New York, it's 8%. But that's a phenomenal deal. It's getting $50 of free product and free shipping on it too, which is awesome. And then thereafter, you get a minimum of 20% discount on your purchases, 20% discount commission on anything you sell, and your own purchases, your own demonstrator orders count towards those, counts towards that quarterly minimum. So that makes it a really nice shopping program there. I know, I've been enjoying it for 15 years here, so we love that. Okay, so this is product number 1, very quick and simple. Now let's do card number 2. I'm going to change it up and go dark with our card base with the Evening Evergreen. Again, 5.5 by 8.5. Hey Peggy, how are you? Sharon's asking where in New York. I am right in central New York. I'm just outside of Ithaca, which is what a lot of people are familiar with. Ithaca is where Cornell University and Ithaca College. So I always say we're right in the center of the long portion of the state. Oh, so Sharon's in Rochester. Yeah, so I'm, like an hour and a half southeast of Rochester. Yeah, we go through there. I mean, I haven't traveled through there too much recently, but I am familiar with the Rochester area. Yeah, so I always tell people that if you go from Niagara Falls, crossways down to New York City, that we are right smack in the middle, halfway between Niagara Falls and halfway between New York City. Can be to either one in a few hours. But we live in the nice, out in the country, beautiful. Lots of wineries out here, pretty landscapes, waterfalls. Yeah, it is a gorgeous area. Okay, so our next layer here, contrasting with a lighter layer this time. And again, we're going to layer this right on top. This is 4 by 5.25. Okay. Yeah, Sharon, very, very close. I know, next time I do an in-person event, I've been waiting for things to kind of clear up, and I know people are very excited, very eager to get back together. That thinking I definitely need to start planning a craft day. So hopefully, I think maybe I'll try to get that ready for the spring if things are good then. All right, so we're using the Evening Evergreen layer of the cotton paper this time. All right, so it's a smaller piece. I cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. Again, you get 10 sheets of the cotton paper in the pack. You get 5 each of the Evening Evergreen in the soft succulent and 12 by 12 size. So little goes a long ways. What I want to do is take some of these stamps and do a little bit of a collage here. We're going to stamp right on the cotton paper. So let's take the floral, and then let's take maybe a couple of these little smaller leaves. All right, got my stamps here. Oops, my little leaves as well. All right, and let's stamp these in Evening Evergreen. So this paper is a little bit thin. That's why I have put my trusty chipboard, just my little cardboard piece behind it. All right, so I'm going to just kind of randomly stamp. Some of you might be familiar. This can kind of be termed faux silk. So it kind of gives the idea of just the delicacy of, oops, there you go, roll it around, of silk. So I'm filling in some of these gaps here with this little leaf right in between our flowers. Actually, I think we can get a little bit more. Let's stamp off the edge. There we go. We get a little bit more on here. Okay, so just randomly stamping wherever you'd like it there. Okay, so that would be cute. You could go ahead and just layer this on and have a real pretty little background. The other thing you can do with it here is actually, I'm going to crumple it. I know you're thinking, oh my goodness, I just stamped it and now I'm crumpling it. Well, that's true. Okay, so we're going to gently unfold it here. Okay, actually I'm going to bring this back. Okay, and then gently smooth it out a little bit, but you can see it has that neat little wrinkled texture on there. But it is sturdy enough for that, so don't worry about that. Okay, so now we're going to take again our Tombow green glue, and I'm going to shake mine just a little bit. I mean, again, using the broad tip because I want to be able to kind of paint this on and spread it out a little bit. I think my green glue, I haven't used it for a little while, and my craft room is a little chilly back here. We haven't turned our furnace on for the whole house yet. We just have the fireplace going out in the living room and off the bedroom. So I think my glue is getting just a little bit gloppy, a little thick in there. Okay, so, but I want to do just a little bit, so I'm not putting too much on here. All right, just work out what you need, and then you can start to spread it. Okay. So again, I know it didn't look like a whole lot, but a little goes a long ways here. All right, and now we've got good coverage. Now we can go ahead and, okay, there we go. And then just, because so you will, that's where it gets that whole like faux silk thing, because it does almost look like fabric on there. You have the neat texture, but then you've got the subtle print that we stamped there on it. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Okay, so very different background, but again, two very cool things that you could do with this. This time, like I said, we're going to keep with the same layout a little bit. And this time I'm going to go, since we have a dark background, we'll do this fun gold foil strip of the Eden's Garden designer paper. And this, again, 4 inches. This one's a little bit narrower. It's 3/4, but using up some of those little strips that I had, little edge pieces I had left over. And again, I kind of liked the placement of that, where we go kind of in the top third. Wendy says that in the UK, it's hard to think of distance like we do in the US, because yeah, for us, 2 hours is nothing. Actually, my husband had, he had business in New Jersey on Wednesday and Thursday. So that's the beauty of Stampin' Up! Is I can take my business wherever I go and work it when I want to around my schedule. So I went with my husband to New Jersey. We left Thursday morning, or excuse me, Wednesday morning, early in the morning, visited his clients, and then we stayed at a nice hotel Wednesday night. And then Thursday morning, we went back and visited another client and then drove home. And Jersey is about 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours from us, depending on where in Jersey we go. We were actually down near Elizabeth. We were right in the heart of the city. We could see the New York City skyline just across the river, just across the Hudson there from us. So it's always an adventure. That traffic is crazy. And my husband did a very good job. I'm the navigator. So it's my job to indicate, turn here, you know? Don't miss the exit. That is my job. And I let him maneuver all that crazy traffic, but it was a nice little change of scenery, and that was good. But yeah, so driving 2 to 4 hours really is nothing where we are. I mean, it takes me 25 minutes to get to the grocery store. So. All right, so again, using the gold foil, this is 2.5 inches. It is the third largest of the layering circles, and then we've got another pretty pattern from our Eden's Garden paper, and then this is the fourth. So this is about this one is, what did I say, that one's 2.5, then this is 2 1/4. I think I misspoke when I said 1 3/4 there. 2.5 and 2 1/4 would be the sizes for these. Okay, so we're gonna adhere these. So I put the gold foil on flat, as well as our designer paper here. And that way, once we stamp our pretty little border die cut, and I did this in white, just to have a little bit of contrast here. All right, let's go ahead. We'll do the hello there. This time I'm going to go in the evening evergreen. All right, so actually I better clean my stamp off just a little bit. Okay, I had that pretty inky. Okay, let's see. I guess it doesn't matter. It's kind of same on each end. There we go. Okay, so we have our nice hello there. And then we'll put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals right across the back here. Wendy says our roads are bigger and straighter here. Well, some are pretty windy, but and we always joke that in upstate New York, there's 2 seasons, winter and road construction. It seems like we have road construction going on all the time. And yes, it's still happening now. It's crazy. But when we get all seasons, we do get all 4 seasons here. So you have that constant change in temperature, the hot and the cold, and the rain and the snow and everything in between. So it really does cause the roads to kind of heave and change a little bit. All right, so that's pretty, but I wanted to pull in this cute little die as well. And I think I showed you guys Tuesday that I had die cut. Yeah, I had a piece of evening evergreen that I had put adhesive sheets on, and then I did the wreath out of the middle, and then I did the smaller wreath out of the middle of that, and I had this little piece of scrap. And so out of this little piece of scrap, I know this looks like a mess, but I was able to fit, turning this in 2 directions, able to get this little leafy die. And it was nice because I already had the adhesive sheet there. So totally maximizing that little sheet of paper. And then I can do this right here. Isn't that pretty? Have a little border there. We could do 2 actually. Let me see. No, this one I got just a little bit of the leaf cut out. So I think I'm going to stick with the one. But you could probably change that up and salvage a little bit, like if you were going to tuck it underneath something. So I'm not going to throw that away. I'll find a use for it. But look at that. Out of the whole thing, that's the only scrap I have is that little bit. So I think I made good use of that. All right, let's not lose the dies here. And let's add some fun little berries or something. Let's go ahead. We'll just put it right there on that one. And then we'll do another little one here. And then let's go ahead and add let's just add 2. That way we've got 3 on there. And that looks good. Yeah. So would the adhesive sheet work on the cotton paper? I would say no, because the cotton paper is so thin. If you saw earlier in the video when I tried to use the Stampin' Seal on it, it started to bunch up. So even the seal is too strong for it. I wouldn't use anything besides your green liquid glue, or if maybe if you have a soft glue stick. But I think this liquid glue, and I wouldn't use the not the fine point, not the super liquidy, because because it's cotton, it would absorb. So I would say stick with your semi thick, like the does that make sense? The consistency of the Tombow glue is actually the perfect. It's not too watery, and it's not too super sticky. So it works good. I was able to get a nice smooth application on this, but you can feel a little bit like the glue has almost kind of come through the paper a little bit. So I think it is good to kind of let each of these dry a little bit. Don't stick it in an envelope right away, and don't layer it right on top, because you might find that you'll have to peel them apart. So glue dots, yes, glue dots I think would be fine because they're so small and you're putting them in specific places. So perhaps if you had a smaller piece, you could tack it down. The other thing that you could do, let's see if I've got just some scrap here. Yeah, so let's see here. Not necessarily going to make a full card here, but just to give you an idea, if we were to take a card base, if you wanted to use your other glue here, what you could do, let's go this way. Okay, so I'm actually going to put my seal directly on my cardstock, and then you could take this and you could kind of, let's see, how do I want to do this? You could almost use it to kind of gather it, like pleat it. So you could do something like that, in which case you're putting your adhesive, I know this looks kind of like random, but again, showing you could create all kinds of crazy different backgrounds and things. So your Stampin' Seal applied to your cardstock is strong enough to hold your cotton paper in place, whether you chose to wad it up and make like a crazy textured background, or pleat it, or anything like that. But again, I applied the seal directly to the cardstock and not to the cotton paper itself. So if you're applying adhesive to the cotton paper directly, I would definitely recommend the Tombow liquid glue. If you're doing other techniques where you can apply your Stampin' Seal per se to the cardstock first and then put your cotton paper on it, then that would work. But does that make sense? I hope. I'm gonna have to play with this because I think this is kind of a neat background, but I didn't plan anything, so I think I'm gonna cut a section of this out and layer it on something. You'll have to tune in on Tuesday again to see what I, how I transform this random textured, squishy mess here of cotton paper. But it is really neat. So that is a kind of a cool way to add visual textural elements to your project. The thing to make sure is I definitely did the shiny side up. You can see kind of peeking out the back is some of the flat side. So if you want it to be a nice visual element, make sure you put the shiny side up and put the sticky or the flat side down. Yes, you could definitely use, maybe put some Tombow on a sponge, like a sponge wedge or dauber or something like that, and use that for some gentle application. That would work. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Just checking some of the comments there. Hello, Arlene. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Hey, Kim. How are you? Glad you could join us. So yeah, so there are a lot of fun things that you can do with the Eden's Garden Suite, and if you, or collection, excuse me. And if you do get the whole collection, and there is a I Want It All number. Okay, so you can do the whole thing here for $82. That includes the designer paper, the cotton paper, your stamp set and dies, and the jewels. Or you can do it a la carte, however you like. I know I'm going to be adding a few more of these garden gems to my next order because they're just so pretty. You can do so many fun things. This is part of my Creative Cardiology Team tutorial, but look at how I've added those gems as a focal point on the flower. Really gorgeous. Of course, you can use them very subtly on some of the other projects like we've done today. But on this card that we made on Tuesday, you can see how you could really get carried away having fun making your own little flower arrangements just with the gems. So no matter what you do, you definitely need to get at least some of the gems on your order. And like I said, if you order $60 or more with me here by the 10th, using my host code MADSSUP2, then I will gladly send you my Eden's Garden class to go. And I think you'll really enjoy that. So I hope you've enjoyed these projects, seeing a couple different ways that you can use the Ever Eden cotton paper, whether you want to use it with your dies and embossing folders, or stamp on it, crumple it, do a faux silk technique like this, or even add a lot of texture and do some really cool things. So have fun. It's so much fun to play with these different items. It's a beautiful collection, and I think you'll really enjoy that. So thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. Hope you have a fabulous rest of your Friday, a great weekend. The weather here is supposed to be beautiful. It's been a little chilly. We've finally had our first frost, and it was down in the 20s, but the sun is shining. It's back in the 40s, and I think weatherman said we should hit 60 this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll even have a last barbecue of the season. Make my husband go outside in the cold and grill. No, but definitely get out there, enjoy it. Enjoy the beauty of fall here. Oh, Sharon, I'm so glad that you joined us today and love our techniques. And Wendy, I'm glad you caught me live as well. Yes, so be sure, here in the United States, at least the Eastern United States, we will be falling back an hour. Our clocks will change Saturday night. So as of Sunday, the time will be an hour different. So just know that if you're in another time zone, the time will be adjusted a little bit for when I do my lives next week on Tuesday and Friday. So take that into consideration. Hey, Liz, how are you? We need to get together. I need to see that cute puppy of yours. Aw. All right, ladies. Well, I am just about wrapping up here. If you have any questions at all, let me know. The ordering special, that is open to any product. It doesn't have to specifically be Eden's Garden, even though that is beautiful. It can be anything you want. And I'll send you the class kit, and then you can use whatever stamps or things. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. If you need help placing an order, give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text. All of that is good. And I look forward to stamping with you guys soon. Alrighty, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.